Hey, welcome back everyone. It's Travis Juntti with the Living in Detroit, Southeast Michigan team. We're back with another list video. What we're doing today, we're breaking down 2024's top 5 places to live in the Detroit, Michigan area. And I don't know if you've seen my previous video, but this video is a little bit updated. There are some ones that like to stay on the list that are still there, but there are some up-and-comers that have kind of broken that top 5 list. And just a quick disclaimer, right? I mean, so all of these towns on the list, all of these cities on the list, what really puts them on the list is they have great schools, you know, there's lower crime, there's accessibility to different things across the area. And again, this isn't my list. I'm not here to try to steer you in any way. That's actually legal to do. This does come from a website called niche.com, so you can kind of look up those different places on your own. But I wanted to kind of give you some insight on some of these places so you have a better idea of different places that you might want to consider when making a move to Detroit, Michigan. So if that's a video that you're looking for, make sure you stay till the end. We touch on the number 1 place on this list. So as I cover each area, what I want to do is I'm going to kind of go into maps so you have an idea of where they're located on the map, and then from there we'll just kind of give you some statistics and some of my thoughts on those different areas. I figured that's kind of the best way. I mean, if there's a different way, if you want to go maybe a walkthrough tour of those towns, put a comment down below. We'll make sure that we'll take a tour of those areas. I know some of these we've already done, but some of those are up and coming that we'll do in the future. So again, I don't really know, why they pick a certain little area over another. So the number 5 place on the list is actually Farmington, Michigan. A lot of times when people are thinking Farmington, they think of Farmington Hills, which actually surrounds Farmington as a whole. I mean, so Farmington is this little area right in here. It's got a population right around that kind of 11,000, 12,000 people. 20 miles from Detroit, and it's actually, like I said, it's surrounded by Farmington Hills. Farmington Hills comes around like this. So Farmington as a whole, I mean, like I said, it's sitting right here on Highway 5. It's got great access. Most of it, if I look on the layer map here, mostly it's going to be residential. There's going to be a little downtown area, right off here off of Grand River. And Farmington Road, a little bit of downtown. You got your Cold Stone, some places like that. But I mean, if you're looking for different places to go, I mean, you're going to find a lot of different places. Obviously, you can see Target here. A lot of your luxury places that you want to go are certainly within reasonable distance. The nice thing about Farmington, like I said, it's got great schools, just like all these places do. But it also is it's a lower price point than everything else on this list. As a whole, I mean, just for reference, as a whole, I mean, as you come out further away from the city of Detroit, as it is in a lot of different metropolitan areas, your price point will become a lot lower. So as you get out from the city, your price point will actually go up a little bit as you leave the city center. And Detroit is no different. And quite honestly, a lot of places in Detroit, if you haven't heard, if you're living under a rock, a lot of places in Detroit can be fairly affordable, but there are reasons for that. But again, as you go outside, you'll see a lot of these cities that we cover are kind of right around this kind of 275, 96, 696 corridor. Part of it is accessibility to the rest of the Metro Detroit area. So Farmington, like I said, 11,000 people, average price point of $300,000. So it's a very affordable place in Southeast Michigan. Obviously quotation marks, because it really depends on what you consider affordable. It's an older, established neighborhood, lots of nice sidewalks, nice streets. So it's really a safe area to raise a family. So next on that list, we're not going to go that far down the road. We're actually going into Beverly Hills. No, we're not talking about Beverly Hills, California. We're not even close to the same ballpark in prices. We're talking about Beverly Hills, Michigan. And this is an area that's surrounded by lots of beautiful areas. Be it Bloomfield, West Bloomfield, Birmingham, all these different places that are surrounding Beverly Hills. Again, it's a population of around 11,000 people, but also that price point has now jumped up. We're upwards of 515,000. So with those surrounding areas being the higher price point, Beverly Hills is also a bit higher than you're going into Farmington. There's also, realistically, there's usually a lot larger homes, a lot larger style homes. That's kind of what brings that price point up. A little bit bigger lots and things like that. So like I said, let's jump in a map so you have a little idea. So here we're going to go to Beverly Hills. And again, this is a very residential area, lots of different green space. I like to go under the satellite view so you can have a good idea. So if you're getting a lot of these nice residential areas, lots of green space, a lot of parks. They do have you're really close to a lot of different private schools if you're looking for private schools. And again, they're really close to the different expressways, be it Telegraph Road or over here on Highway 1, which is also Woodward Ave. So those are different ways to get in and out of town. But like I said, it's surrounded by these beautiful areas. I mean, you got Bloomfield Village, Franklin, Berkeley. I mean, a lot of these nice little downtowns, nice little areas. So you have obviously access to the hospital right there, and it does, like I said, have access to the closer to the private schools. You have what is this, Detroit Country Day here as well. Let me just kind of pop in real quick. Let's just drive on one of these little streets here so you can have a little general idea. Like I said, a lot of these homes, there are a lot of mature trees as you go down these streets. A lot of these homes are built in the 80s. There are some homes that are obviously newer or places that they knocked down, but these average price point in here, I mean, you're sitting right around that kind of 500,000. And like I said, this is in August of 2018. You can certainly jump in and drive around. I mean, we can do a little driving tour if that's something that you would like to do for that area. But again, that's Beverly Hills, and that's number 4 on your list of the top places to live in the Detroit area. And number 3, we've actually kind of mentioned already, and that's going into Birmingham. And like I said, there's a lot of these B's, Birmingham, Bloomfield, Beverly Hills. A lot of these places are really excellent places to be. So Birmingham is number 3 on that list, and it's an excellent community. Our price points are now jumping up to $750,000. So you went from 300 in Farmington, we have 515 into Beverly Hills, and now we're at 750 for Birmingham. So I mean, our price points are just going up. Just a little teaser, they're not going to keep going up. We do have some affordability of homes here in Southeast Michigan, in the Detroit area. And for the record, I mean, as of now, I mean, we're sitting here in the middle of 2024. An average price point in the United States of America is for like 440 or 450,000, somewhere around there, something crazy. It's absolutely insane. So Birmingham, it is just north of Beverly Hills. It does have a population right around that kind of 20,000. And they also have a nice, vibrant downtown community. So a lot of people are looking for that walkability if they want to get walking into downtown. Birmingham does afford that option if you want to live closer to the downtown area. A lot of different coffee shops, little restaurants, stuff like that. So jump in a map so you have a general idea of what Birmingham looks like and where it is in relation to the rest of the city. So we'll slide into Birmingham, right? So I mean, I talk about the downtown. You got the I'm just going to zoom down in the downtown here real quick. Just get you down in there. That looks like we popped you right on the corner. So they do have some construction going on. Obviously, this is August 2022, but they're always building new stuff down there in Birmingham. You got your Lululemon, all the different places. So this is a place that there's a lot of people walking around, checking it out. Certainly a few blocks of different walking that you can do, in the area. I mean, I can drive you down here if you want, but kind of gives you an idea of the downtown area. So I mean, it's a vibrant places to to hit up. You get your coffee, drink, or whatever it might be. And of course, we do have a lot of different parks in the area. You can see the walking trails along the parks here. So a lot of different places that you can go to certainly explore. So that puts Birmingham at the number 3 place to live in Southeast Michigan. Of course, those with the higher budget, right? Hey, again, real quick, this is Travis Juntti with the Living in Detroit, Southeast Michigan team. And make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the little notification bell to make sure you get notified anytime we put out new content. And all my contact information is down below. Reach out anytime if you're considering a move to Detroit or Southeast Michigan. I would love to help you on that journey. We are the #1 relocation team in the area. Reach out days, nights, and weekends, whatever is best for you. We'll make sure to be there to help you out during that, make that move. Of course, we have 2 more cities left, and right after that, what I want to do is, we talked a little bit about the prices. I wanted to kind of break down a little chart to kind of show you an idea, a little kind of comparison between them, so you can have an idea for yourself with those top 5 areas that live in Detroit, Michigan. And of course, if you are looking or considering different areas within the area, make sure you reach out. We'll have that conversation. We'll see what is best for you in making that move here to Detroit or Southeast Michigan. And without further ado, let's go into the next city. It's going to be, so Novi, I mean, we're sitting at a population of right about 65,000 people. And a lot of people consider Novi as kind of like the gateway to Metro Detroit, especially if you're coming from the west side. Like I said, I live over on the west side over by Livingston County. So if I'm going into Metro Detroit, a lot of times it's coming through Novi on 96, going east on 96. What I think a lot of people like about Novi, let me switch to this here real quick. Like I said, it's kind of like the gateway to Metro Detroit if you're coming off of 96 here from Howell, Bright, and Livingston County. it is the accessibility to the rest of the city. People moving into town, not everybody lives or works in Detroit. When you talk about moving or relocating to Detroit, a lot of people are working in Plymouth or working in Canton, working in Wayne, Livonia, Southfield, whatever. You keep going on and on, but the accessibility from Novi to the rest of the area is one of the perks about living in Novi. And not only that, they do have accessibility of a lot of different parks, different golf courses. You got the Lakeshore Park here. If people are looking for malls, they have the 12 Oaks Mall, and there's lots of different restaurants right around this kind of Grand River and off this Novi road. So there's lots of development. You have the Suburban Showcase where they have the different events going on there. Right in this area, and you do have access to Sam's Club and Costco's nearby and Walmart's. So all those places, all those conveniences are close to you, and you do have a private school here. A lot of folks in Livingston County, they'll come here to the Detroit Catholic Central High School if they're looking for a private school. They also have high-rated public schools as well, as they all do, right? But having that accessibility to all, you got some lake living here, but having the accessibility to all the different areas, a lot of the different green areas. This isn't quite Novi, but if you're looking here, Mayberry State Park, they got some good mountain biking down there. A little bit of mountain biking up here on Lakeshore Park. So lots of good options, for people for things to do in Novi, and having that accessibility to a lot of different things, and also with the average home price in comparison to some of the other areas in Metro Detroit that have the top school systems and the things that you desire. Novi just ends up being a great place to live with the average price point right around $420. Of course, some of those older homes might drive that price down. There's lots and lots of communities that are upwards of $700 to $1 million plus for living in Novi. So we do have a lot of those options. So it's not just like when we mention average price, right? Obviously there's going to be places that bring that average up or down. So that's real quick on Novi. And just like that, we've made it to the last one. We made it to the number one place to live. I don't know if you remember, I think last year Novi might have been on the number one. This other city was also on the list. I don't know if you've figured out what it is yet, but we're just going to keep going. So number one on the list is going to be Troy, Michigan. Now Troy, Michigan is another one of those places. It's got a little bit lower price point. It's got great accessibility from the north side of town, and there's a lot of different planned, really good planned neighborhoods, city streets, city sidewalks, old growth trees, lots of different areas. It's very safe for kids and adults that like to be biking and hiking and walking around town. Little different parks all around. So there's lots of different things, and accessibility is obviously another big thing where you're close to a lot of different major employment. South side of Troy, you got a lot of different off of Big Beaver Road and stuff. Lots of good development, lots of good infrastructure for Fortune 500 companies and stuff like that. Troy is also the largest of the municipalities. I mean, we're sitting at Novi was 65,000, I think. Novi is right about 90,000 people. So there's a lot of people that are in Troy, and a lot of people are moving here more and more. I do have a video up here. I'll link up above where I did a video tour of Troy, so you have an idea of couple of different neighborhoods, some of the parks in the area. So you have just a quick glimpse into Troy and why they call it the number one place to live in Detroit area. And just like all the others, I wanted to kind of show you real quick, where it is in relation to Southeast Michigan. Before we were at Novi was right here, Troy's right here, Beverly Hills was right over here, Birmingham was right over here, Farmington was right over here. So like I said, a lot of these places are kind of right around that, encompassing the outside metro area. I mean, shoot, you can put a lot of these places on that list, Bloomfield Hills and West Bloomfield Township, Rochester Hills. A lot of these places could be rated very high. Northville are very high, in the area. So I mean, like I said, this is a list put together by niche.com. But like I said, Troy is it's perfectly situated on the north side of Metro Detroit. I mean, of course, you probably won't be in Troy and work downriver, down in Wyandotte or Flat Rock or Taylor or somewhere down there. That's would be more suitable for places over by Novi or something. But this just kind of gives you an idea. And like I said, I talked about a lot of the major development, employment and stuff on the south side here. This is Big Beaver Road is right in here. 75 comes right through here. You also do have the Somerset Mall, which is right in Troy. So you have a lot of different options here, like you would in a place like Novi, but you don't quite have, Novi does have some of the, the biking areas and stuff and little hiking areas. There are some smaller parks here, but it really depends on what you're looking for in a place. Like I said, I mean, that's why we have these conversations. We figure out what it is that you're looking for so that we can get on a call and figure out what is best for you. There's so many different areas, so many different things that you can learn about all these different places. This is just a quick list I wanted to put together so you have just a general idea when you're researching the area. We can go in a lot more detail. We could do some video tours, do some driving tours. Certainly, point out some areas that you should check out. But it's ultimately it's up to you to figure out what is the place for you, what is the best place to find and call home, right? Lastly, what I wanted to do is I want to jump in, and we talked a lot about costs. So I want to jump back in the computer and really show you a breakdown of some of the costs of these different areas. So I can only pull up 4 of these. So I have, I'll pull up Troy after. I have Farmington, Beverly Hills, Birmingham, and Novi. So we talked a little bit about the price points. You see here on the bottom we have Oakland or Farmington. Then you have Novi in the red. Then you have in the green, you have Beverly Hills. Then way up here in the yellow, you have Birmingham, which is at the top of the list of the price point. That's at $750. So that kind of gives you a quick idea. And of course, some of these places they might have a little bit more inventory more than others. As you can see, Birmingham has jumped up dramatically in price over time. So I mean, a lot of times that has to do with certain homes that are selling or certain inventory is down a little bit less. So I'm just going to remove Birmingham real quick, and I want to add Troy. So Troy is now in yellow. So I mean, like I said, we're sitting here at 420. So all these homes, all these are, if you're looking to be in that kind of 300 to 500 range, all these places will be excellent choices. Of course, that depends on what type of home that you're looking for. If you're looking for a newer home, you might be a little bit restricted. So this kind of gives you an idea of what to expect when making a move to Southeast Michigan. And as I mentioned, I do have another channel that breaks down all the different places, all the different areas to move to in Southeast Michigan, in the Detroit area. I have that video up here above. So I hope you found some value from this channel. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the little notification bell to make sure you get notified anytime I put out new content. Again, this is Travis Juntti with the Living in Detroit Southeast Michigan team. All my contact information is down below. Love to have that conversation. Until next time, we'll see you on the Living in Detroit Southeast Michigan team.